Welcome to Two Broke Men, the podcast that teaches you how to be smart with your money. My name's Carson.
My name's Adam, and we're two broke men who think saving accounts are a waste of time and money.
Cue the intro. That's right. Welcome to Two Broke Men, the podcast that teaches you how to be smart with your money. I wanted to clear up some stuff from the last episode, some really important things that I forgot to mention about the coffee. And I think that's really important, and it's a big takeaway that I should have brought up earlier. But it's that those small numbers add up, and that's something that we didn't really talk about that much. But when it comes to small subscriptions, small services, small items, it can add up in the long run and really run you dry, which kind of sucks. Today's episode is about savings accounts, so we won't talk about that right now. I felt like last episode went pretty well. Adam, how'd you feel about it?
I liked it. I mean, could have touched, bases on better, topics. There's tons of things that we could have covered in that, but we only had 30 minutes, so I feel like if we had, an hour or 2 hours, we could have covered a lot more, but, right now we're just trying to be brief because we're just starting up.
That's way too long. I don't know, dude. I don't think I could ever listen to a 2-hour podcast.
Really?
I don't even think I could watch like a 2-hour YouTube video. Like, I can watch like a 2-hour movie, but I don't think I could do a podcast.
I listen to some long podcasts, bro, especially at work. I just be grinding podcasts, yeah.
Wow. What kind of podcasts do you listen to?
A lot of political stuff. I don't know if you want to get political, but
probably not.
Probably not, right?
Probably for the best that we don't.
Yeah.
Maybe in another episode on, how to become a politician to make sure you get the most money possible.
Right.
But it's whatever, dude. I think it went pretty good. I think we'll just we'll get better.
Yeah, for sure.
Hopefully this episode's gonna be good too. Yeah, we're talking about savings accounts and how they're trash. I have a savings account. Do you have a savings account?
No, I don't save money.
Not at all.
I mean, I got money that I put aside. Like I said in the first episode, I save, but I don't have an account that I put money into and acquire, a percentage, I just
Wait, so you keep your money in your checkings account, all of it?
I always put it towards something, like whether it's trading or something else. Like I'm always finding stuff to put towards.
Wait, hold on. Are you telling me that you don't have like money in a bank account right now?
I got money in the bank, but like that's to take care of bills. Like basically, like if I save enough money, I'm not putting it into a savings account to like grow like what interest or whatever. I just I just have money in an account.
Interest is trash.
Yeah, interest is trash. So there's no point in it.
But but you have it in an account. Like it's not like titled a savings account, but you have like money sitting in the account just in case.
Yeah, for bills. Like basically,
okay.
like I just see it as that's bill money. Like basically when I have money in the like my account, it's just like, all right, I'm about that. That'll cover 2 months right there. So I'm working on the third month.
So you mentally you just say this and put it aside. It's all mental for you.
Yeah. Basically, I have how much that I spend on bills every month, and I know that I need that much, basically to cover bills, and this much to cover food and other things.
Yeah, I mean that's a good thing. I do the same thing, but I do that with a savings account. I prefer to do it with a savings account because, well, really, I see the money entirely different in my head, and it's like a mental thing, instead of instead of me setting it aside in my brain, I can literally just set it inside a separate account, and then I've built this mentality where I view that money entirely differently. If I have to break into my savings account, it means that I'm either buying something big that I need or just buying something big that I feel like I've saved this money for over time. Like when I bought my PC, I used my savings money that I had saved from working for a long time. And I didn't take that out of my checking because my checking is for like daily stuff, for food and groceries and that kind of stuff. And my savings accounts are for like emergencies or like big spending purchases. If I start for some reason to run low on my checkings account, I have to mentally like switch and say, I can't dive into this savings account money because this is savings account money, not checking account. So it's almost like a mental stop for me. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I mean, I guess when it comes to having a checking account or savings account, I guess you can say that me having just a regular checking account counts as, I guess, a savings account as well. I mean, I don't have separate accounts like you said, but I do it mentally, and if I'm like running low on cash, I'm like, oh my gosh, how much do I need for this month, to make it through the month or whatever. I've been
Yeah.
there. But I think when it comes to when I think of savings account, I think people got like 10 grand in there or something. You know what I mean? Like they like put a lot of money away. So like, I mean, that's nice, but it really doesn't do anything sitting there.
Yeah, yeah, dude, to be honest, it's like that money is in there and it's great. I don't entirely understand the concept of why you would need a savings account other than just to have it set aside and not have that money be movable. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but also I mean I get it at the same time because I know that I can save roughly maybe like 1,500 or so a month maybe, like just save every month, like that's after bills and uh money for food. So I think if people are like looking at a large investment that requires that 10 grand, and that's how they're working towards it, instead of like looking at purchasing something very expensive for no reason, but like if they're working towards an investment, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's kind of a whole thing is like, you're setting that money aside for something big. That's great because, you can actually see that money growing and it's almost like motivational to you. Because, if you have $10,000 in a savings account and you're saving up for a $30,000 car for some reason, or like a down payment and you're almost there, it's extremely motivational and you start putting more and more money that you can afford. Something that I always went by when I was trying to decide how much money I wanted to take out of each paycheck, I would always do the paycheck amount minus the disposable income that I would need for that paycheck. So either it's weekly or bi-weekly. And then I take 40% of what's left and I toss it in my savings account. So that means that I don't need most of half of that money that I just took out because I've already subtracted my disposable income that I will be using on, fast food, on groceries, on gas, on that kind of stuff that I can just use. And the rest will go into the other half of what's left is going into my savings account. And honestly, dude, I saved up a good amount of money on that.
Yeah, I mean that's good, and I mean you can even save money to start up a Chick-fil-A or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Adam and I talked about this once. We were brainstorming when we were first trying to figure out what business we wanted to start. For our first business, we ran across the idea of opening a Chick-fil-A, at a place I usually go to in Florida. To open a Chick-fil-A is, I believe, $10,000 down. The only thing is that you're not an owner; it's a franchise, and you're just an owner of that franchise. But you don't actually own the store. You can't pass it down to someone if you want. Chick-fil-A actually manages all of it because $10,000 to open a business is very small, especially a massive fast food restaurant like Chick-fil-A. So like there are benefits that come with it, but there are also negatives to coming with it because you don't actually own it. You're not going to make all that money that you would normally making to go into the corporate, but they still make a good amount of money, dude. We were looking at it and it was nice.
Yeah, we were definitely thinking about it, and also when it comes to saving up that money for that Chick-fil-A, I think it's always better to have in mind what you're going to put that money towards instead of just stacking it up. Some people save up their money to give to their kids, which is great. Like if you pass away, whatever, you got money to go to your family. But it's like, I don't know, if you got like 50 grand or a ton of money just sitting in the bank, you could easily like double it or triple it doing something very safe, like have someone else use your money.
Yeah, exactly. One thing I want to talk about before I dive into that a little bit more is we were very hardly considering doing the Chick-fil-A thing. The only reason I feel like we didn't is because the selection process is very long, very hard, and chances are you're not going to get it. It's like a 0.03% chance of getting picked. And we just felt like we wanted to get something else started. But yeah, dude, that's a great point. Like having that money just sit around is honestly a massive waste. And it's something that I don't even take like advantage of. But it's because I feel like I know my limit. And we'll get into this a lot more next episode because the next episode is episode 3. It's on the stock market. And I feel like from my perspective, if you haven't been in the stock market for about a year or more, chances are you're going to lose that money. And so like mentally, I put like a stop on a certain amount of money in my savings account so that I don't take it out and accidentally blow it on stocks and like emotional trading, and just lose it. Like I've lost a good amount of money. So like I agree that, having your money outside of that account, not just sitting in there, collecting dust, can be really good for you, but it can be only good for you if you are doing it correctly. Because, Adam and I started this drop shipping business about 2-3 weeks ago, and we have yet to turn a profit. I mean, we haven't spent a ton yet, but we can't turn a profit yet because, we're just starting out and we're figuring things out. But I'd say we put about $200 into it so far. And we haven't turned a profits, but we've lost that money. We can't get that money back until we start to become profitable. It's just a risk you have to take in some parts of your life,
Yeah, and it's well within our budget. We can afford that.
Right.
That's why we're taking the risk. So I mean, it's not really hurting us, but these little lessons that we're learning hopefully will bring us into creating something big.
Yeah, definitely, bro. Oh, I forgot to mention this. Guys, your boy's not unemployed anymore. Your boy got the job he wanted. Let's go. Woo, woo.
What job did you get?
Dude, I'm going back to Apple, man. I'm so excited.
Oh, wow.
Dude, the pay is so much better than I had last time, dude. I don't know if I can get into it. Apple's real secretive about their stuff, but, I'm excited.
You also get discounts too, as well.
I do,
right?
dude. I do. I'm thinking about getting an iPad,
nice.
bro. I have I think it's a 2019 MacBook Pro. And it's pretty good other than the battery dies and it overheats pretty fast. But I'm thinking about getting an iPad, bro. I don't know. Graphic design's fun and it would be a lot easier for me to do on an iPad.
Yeah, I mean that's smart money or what?
Smart money because I can use it to turn a profit with like ads and Photoshop and Procreate on there, everything like that, dude. I could use it to benefit all my businesses.
Yeah, do things on the go, right?
Yeah, exactly, dude. I can tell you all the times that I'm just sitting there, like whether it be in class, and I'm not saying do your work in class because that's not a good idea. My professor actually just talked to me about it, but we like in the car, if I'm just sitting there eating, or if I'm like just in some random place and I think to myself, man, I wish I could be doing work right now, or like taking notes, dude. I've got like 4 journals in my bag because I love to just like watch YouTube videos and take notes on the go. But like I could imagine like actually getting work done on my iPad. That's something that would be really nice.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's all good. I mean, it's really nice when you can multitask and get multiple things done at once.
Yeah. But this is about halfway through the podcast right now, which is really nice. Right now, if we had more listeners, we would be running a sponsored ad. So I'm gonna do my own real quick. You guys ready for this? I think you guys should visit shoptrendyAnime.com. Shop Trendy Anime has all the anime products you could possibly think of. Soon to be a general store with all the trendy products you could ever think of. Definitely not made by me and Adam, but it looks very good, sounds very good, tastes very good, I can assume. It's a great website. Go check it out. Maybe buy some stuff if you're feeling like it, or don't, because that's not what Two Broke Men would do. We would not buy products from the internet that we don't need, but also we would like the money, so it's whatever. But hey, listen, something that's more important, tell your friends to listen. Maybe they need to hear it. It's whatever. Maybe once we get some more listeners, we can have some real ads.
Right. I mean, you got me sold on it. I'm gonna go check it out after.
Hey, you better. It'll be your first time ever checking out that website, even though we're partners on it.
Hey, listen, I'm a busy man.
Oh, right. Too busy to make money. That's what Adam says. Too busy making money to make more money is what Adam says.
Oh, really? Yeah, of course.
Okay. Whatever. But no, dude, going back to your point earlier before I started just going on about Chick-fil-A and jobs and, our ads, I think it's really important to, move your money around. That's what a lot of people, like a lot of rich people say, is that your money will make you money if you know how to use it to make money. And like I said, we're going to cover this more in the next episode with the stock market, but like investing in the stock market can bring you really good percentages if you know what you're doing. It's nice because a stock portfolio can act like a savings account if your mentality is good enough. There's this mentality where you can just take your stocks and turn it straight back to cash and then just have it sitting there for a minute and then find another really good play it, have it sitting there as cash, and then, you're still making good percentages. The one thing I hate about savings accounts, dude, the interest rates are so trash, dude. They're so bad. It's like, that's why it's really hard for me to understand why people like savings accounts so much. I took a look at mine before I started recording this to see how much I was getting monthly for my interest. I'm getting 8 cents a month. I did the math for how much I have, and it's something like 0.0000 like 9% or something like that. I can't remember, but it's like terrible. So then I started doing even more math, and so I make $1 a year. So if I have the same amount of money in there for my whole life, I'm 21 right now. Let's say, for instance, I live to 100, which is never going to happen. I drink Mountain Dews every day. Let's say, for instance, I live to 100. I will make $100 off of that money in interest.
Listen, that'll go to your kids. That'll support them for maybe a day.
Oh, dude, it's terrible, man. It's terrible. And meanwhile, on the stock market, of course, like, I'm being real risky with it, and I can lose it at any time. But like, there's way more like reliable stocks that you can play, like Disney and Apple and Amazon. And as long as you're being smart with it, dude, you can turn, like, even if it's 1%. Let's say that you said 10,000. You gave me the 10,000 number earlier. Let's say, for instance, I have $10,000 in my savings account. You never want to do this. You never want to put it all into something because it's very risky. But let's say that I put $10,000 into Disney stock, and it goes up 1% over the course of a year. $10,000 times 1% is $100. You've just made your $100 that what you would have made over 100 years with that money being sitting in a savings account in 1 year. And that's like a bare minimum too. 1% in 1 year, dude. There are some stocks that make me 100% in days. Like, in 1 day, I've gone 100%. Now, those are very risky. Lose all your money. Don't do that. But I mean, there are things. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. But there are stocks where you can just get in it and you can make literally 10% in a month, and you're actually making like active or passive income, and it's so much better than a savings account.
So now talking about savings account, I mean, how much money would you need to even put in there to be worth it? Like,
for a savings account?
No.
For a savings account to be passive.
What, $1 trillion?
Dude, I would say, dude, honestly, it's probably around like 1.5 million. Let me try that number. Okay, I just looked it up, and according to bankrate.com, the national average interest rate for a savings account is 0.06% per year. So if I do 1.5 million times 0.06%, which is 0.0006, by the way, that's $900.
Oh, wow.
That's a year. So you would need, in order to make about
$1 billion.
in order to make about $1,000 a year, which is nothing, to be honest. $1,000 a year, you would need $1.5 million in your savings account in order to make that. And that's an average. You could have way less than that as your APY or APR, whichever it is. You can have way less than that in there, and you could be getting like pennies on the dollar. It's such a waste.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, okay, so say you make that $900, the next year it doesn't go off the original. Was it 1.5 mil? Is that what you said?
Yeah, 1.5 mil.
So the next year it goes month to month, or
so it's monthly. You get paid. You get paid interest monthly.
Okay, and then it's from that total every month, right? That you make.
Yeah. Well, wait.
So it's like an exponential curve
what do you mean?
In there. It's this like slight curve.
So like you're saying that does the next month also include the money that you made from last month?
Yeah, it's not linear. It's exponential
No,
somewhat.
I mean it's not really exponential.
Not really
It's a
exponential.
percentage.
It's
It's
a
a
slight
percentage of
curve.
how much money you have inside of your account at that time. So
Right.
if you have $10,000 and it, it's point or it's 0.10%, then you're making a dollar, right? I don't know math.
Yeah. I mean, even then, it's still nothing.
$10? I don't know. Yeah, but yeah, dude, it's really interesting to think about. A lot of people say diversify your income, and no one ever says to put your money in a savings account. It's just not the thing to do. Um, as long as you have that money to spend, you like everything we're ever going to talk about. If you're going to be doing this, you need the money to be coming in order to do it. Adam and I have the money in order to do it, and by the end of this, hopefully, once we get out of actually just saving money and how to make more money, we hope that you guys are gonna have the money to do it as well. The reason that I say don't put your money in a savings account is because if you were to invest in a big company, I think Coca-Cola right now has one of the biggest or the highest paying dividends in the stock market right now. And a dividend, according to Google, is a sum of money paid regularly by a company to its shareholders out of its profits. So basically, when the company makes profits every year, it pays their shareholders, I think, a small percentage, just like interest. But the thing is it's going to be a way higher percentage than you would be getting from a savings account.
That's a way better way to go, over at a savings account. Because you always want your money to, make money for you.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's always going to be better than a savings account. We just did the math.
Yeah. Like Adam and I said, we thought about starting up a Chick-fil-A, and now we're doing drop shipping, and we're getting into YouTube and podcasts, and we're branching out to all these different sources of income. This podcast makes us no money right now. And it practically costs us no money right now. It costs us, I believe, $5 a month for us to put this podcast out onto our podcast host, which then puts it out onto Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and then I do all the stuff on YouTube. So it costs $5 a month, which is nothing. But we're not making that money back. It's still a loss. But if we did Chick-fil-A, we'd have to make that money back. We were doing drop shipping, we have to make that money back. It's all an investment. Everything that you take your money out to put in and try and get it back, it's an investment. And it's just something that you can't do if your money is just sitting collecting dust in your savings account.
Right. And more importantly, it's not even just like money, it's time as well. Like when you wait 100 years to make $900, it's definitely not worth your time. And that's what we're putting into this podcast, but hopefully, our time will be worth something in the end. The time that we put into here will be worth something in the end, to where we can, this can be one of our big streams of income, because many entrepreneurs say that you need 7 streams of income to be like a millionaire.
Sounds about right.
And
Unless,
I believe it.
unless you're just really lucky at trading stocks, like I was once. Rest in peace. That was a lot of money.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that next time.
We'll have ton of stories.
Yeah, we have
sure.
plenty of stories to tell. But yeah, Adam's right.
It'll make you cry like it made us cry.
Yeah, we cried a few times. But Adam's right. Time is everything, and a lot of big investors, big money makers, say that your time is worth more than money, and it's true, because once you get older, you'll realize. And I'm not saying that because I have the experience of it, but because I've read a lot of people say it. People say that your time is worth more than your money. So don't waste your time doing stuff that you don't want to do. I'm in particular am very interested in doing the podcast. I first reached out to Adam. I was like, hey, I want to do this. Is this something that you're interested in? I want to help people. And then I was really interested in doing the Discord trading group that I talked to you guys about on the last one. And I'm really interested in stock trading. I'm really interested in starting this dropshipping business. I'm making sure that my time is well balanced between all 5 of my businesses right now. I guess you would call businesses if you include working, an actual job, stocks, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But I'm balancing my time in between those things, but I'm so passionate about it that I can hardly put them down. But I just have to make sure that, I'm not wasting my time on those things. And, I get mad at Adam sometimes because I put in way more time than he does on our business. I'm not going to lie, Adam knows it,
Yeah,
but Adam also has a
yeah.
girlfriend and a full-time job and a family, and, he's got other stuff he has to take care of. And, like, I'm picking up the weight because I know we're both going to be successful in the end, and it's not going to matter in the end. And I know that Adam and I are going to be very successful, and we hope that we can brush it off to you guys. And, I'm just extremely passionate about what I do, so I know I'm not wasting my time.
Right. And Chick-fil-A is definitely not off the table. I still have that in mind, or other places like Starbucks or something.
Just not right now.
Just not right now. Yeah, obviously.
Start small, scale big. That's what a lot of people say.
Right, right. And back to the time topic. It's just I always grew up seeing my parents, work 9 to 5s and paycheck to paycheck, and it just really be stressed out on whether they're going to be able to pay the bills or not. And literally, I've had my mom cry, that she's not going to be able to pay the bill. I gave her money so she could spend on Christmas presents, like, and she literally cried about it. I just yeah, it was terrible times. I think everyone goes through their ups and downs, but I don't. I've always looked at my parents as idols that I not okay. Not saying that they weren't great parents. They're great parents, obviously. They work their asses
Yeah,
off.
obviously, because you're a great kid. Duh.
Right. I just I take what they're doing, and I'm trying to learn from the mistakes and do better. And I think me not working that 9 to 5 and finding something that is way better for myself and my family, so I can have plenty of time, because you spend like 10 hours a day at your job, not including like drive time, or 8 hours or whatever, and that's time you could spend with your family, or spend doing other things, living your life and
You're saying
traveling and what?
You're saying a lot.
Yeah, dude, I just have that personality where I don't know if it's my personality or the way I am. I have like a perspective off of other people's perspectives. I just pick up really easily on things like that, and I can just kind of see they're not really where they want to be, and I know I don't want to have regret, later on in
Yeah.
life when
Yeah, because your
I could
time's
be-
important.
right.
Yeah, because your time's super important, man. And you see that with other people. You see like how they're spending their time, dude. Like I don't ever want to like diss anyone. I don't, and I'm probably never gonna name drop unless I ask before. But like I've had friends, and I know people who just complain about money, dude, and they have no money, and I can give them all the answers on how to be smart with your money, just like this podcast does for you. And they just won't change their lifestyle, and it makes them miserable because, even if they're sacrificing 5 hours a day to do this one thing that can help them, or not even doing that, just like getting rid of one meal a day or something like that, that's way more expensive, and make it at home, they're not doing it, and they're valuing their time incorrectly. There's an incorrect way to value your time. An incorrect way to value your time would be to put your time partying, drinking, smoking, blah, 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 over setting yourself up for success. If you want to have money, you have to put your success first. And like we went over last time, your success can be anything that you feel will make you happy in the end. So if that's how you want to live, that's great. I don't think this podcast is for you. If you want to keep listening, that's great. But, you have to be able to give up those things, even if it's in a short amount. Like you have to stop drinking for a month to save money, whatever it is. Do what you have to do. And, if you have questions, email us, twobrokemenpod@gmail.com. If you have, suggestions for us to talk about it, you can hit us there too. Or on our Instagram, shameless plug. Our Instagram is twobrokemenpod. That's really good. And then Two Broke Men on YouTube too. You can comment down there if that's what you prefer. Make sure to go like and subscribe to all those things, by the way. That's really important. But hey, this has been a good podcast. I think we've done pretty well. I think I'm gonna start doing like a summary, like a takeaway. And Adam can help me here. But I would say the biggest takeaway from this podcast is that, your money needs to make you money. And it's not going to make you money if it's sitting in a savings account collecting dust all the time. But you have to make sure that you have that money to waste in case things go down the drain, because nothing will ever make you money 100% of the time.
It's not all about money, but money creates that freedom, and I think that's more important because with that freedom comes your time, and that's above all. I mean, time with your family, time with your loved ones. I mean, that's very important because, like I've said before, you could be gone tomorrow.
True. Yeah. Savings accounts are a waste of time. That's in short. But I still have one. I'll continue to use it. But if you guys have questions, hit us up. But this has been Two Broke Men, the podcast where we teach you how to save money. We'll see you guys next Thursday.